Pain was never trying to destroy the world. He was trying to teach it, because in a world where words fail, only pain is remembered. Pain is Nagato, a child born in the middle of war, a boy who watched his parents die in front of him, a survivor who learned early that life has no mercy. With Yahiko and Konan, Nagato once believed in peace. They believed understanding could change the world. They believed kindness mattered. Until Yahiko died and the world didn't change. That's when Nagato realized something brutal. Hope dies quietly. Pain screams. From that moment on, Nagato stopped believing in words. He stopped believing in empathy. He believed in experience. Because pain doesn't ask for trust, it forces understanding. Two paths exist. One believes peace comes from understanding and forgiveness. The other believes peace comes from fear and memory. One says humans can change. The other says humans only learn when they suffer. This is not good versus evil. This is hope versus realism, faith versus experience, Naruto versus pain. But Pain didn't enjoy suffering. He believed it was necessary. Humans do not fear words, they fear consequences. Peace never lasts because pain fades, memory weakens. Comfort makes people forget. Leaders decide who lives and who dies and call it justice. Even without war, suffering exists. Disease, hunger, loss. Pain didn't create cruelty, he used it. Because fear creates restraint, and restraint creates peace. In history, the most peaceful eras came after devastating wars. Nations only learned restraint after mass destruction. Peace isn't built on trust, it's built on fear of loss. Pain looked at the world and said, if suffering teaches faster than words, then suffering is the only language humanity understands. So ask yourself this, if pain prevents greater pain, is it still evil? Pain's logic is simple. Why suffering repeats? Because humans forget peace but remember trauma. Why individuality causes conflict? Everyone believes their pain is justified, and every justification becomes a weapon. Why shared pain feels like peace. If everyone understands loss equally, no one will want to cause it again. Pain wanted a world where ignorance was impossible, not kindness, not forgiveness, understanding through suffering. Pain says, only pain creates peace. Naruto says, pain creates more pain. One world is stable but cold, the other is hopeful but fragile. One controls humanity through fear, the other trusts humanity to change. Pain doesn't lose the argument, he loses faith. If peace requires suffering, and suffering is unavoidable, peace is usually enjoyed by those far from the battlefield. Villages talk about harmony, while children grow up in war zones. Leaders preach morality, while sending others to die. Pain saw this hypocrisy firsthand. The powerful survive, the innocent suffer, and the survivors are told to move on. So Pain rejected fake peace. He believed true peace must hurt everyone equally, or it isn't peace at all. That's why his justice feels cruel, because it doesn't protect anyone, not even himself. Pain didn't collect the tailed beasts for power. He collected them for memory. Nagato learned one brutal truth from history. Humans don't learn from words, they only learn from loss. Every great war followed the same pattern. Nations fight, innocents die, peace is declared, time passes, war returns. Pain wanted to break that cycle permanently. The tailed beasts were his solution, not as weapons of domination, but as a shared trauma so terrifying that no nation would ever dare to fight again. His logic was simple. If everyone fears the same destruction, no one will choose war. Peace enforced by absolute consequence. The tailed beasts would create one superweapon, one overwhelming threat, one shared terror, not owned by any village, not used repeatedly, just enough destruction to burn the memory of pain into the human soul. So peace wouldn't rely on trust, it would rely on fear, because fear doesn't forget. Pain didn't see the Eye of the Moon plan as a contradiction to his beliefs. He saw it as the final step. First, unite the world through shared suffering, then end suffering entirely through illusion. Pain believed humanity wasn't ready for peace. They had to be broken first. Only after the world truly understood pain could it accept a false paradise without resistance. In his mind, pain was the lesson, the illusion was the reward. And that's the cruel paradox. To end suffering, pain was willing to take away what makes suffering meaningful. Choice, struggle, hope.